Welcome everyone to Weekly News and DW with Major Tidbits, and the topic for this video is Leila de Lima, malaya na. Nabsuelto si dating senador at political prisoner na si Attorney Leila de Lima sa kanyang ikatlo at huling kaso kaugnay ng ilegal na droga na ipinataw sa kanya sa ilalim ng administrasyong Duterte. Bakit ang liwanag?
So ang tanong nyo siguro, anong nararamdaman ko?
Yes ma'am, ano po ang nararamdaman ko ninyo una sa lahat after 7 years of this legal battle?
Napakalaki po ng ginhawa at saya. Ang nararamdaman ko ngayon, mas mapapanatag at makakatulog na po ako ng mas maluwag. You know, with the grant of our demurrer to evidence, which is tantamount to acquittal, that means I am now completely free and vindicated. It's very liberating. At alam nyo naman ito, I respected the rule of law. Despite the pain and the injustice of it all, I confronted the charges head on, and I went through and endured the whole process.
Maalala, almost exactly 1 year ago, nag-file ng motion for reconsideration si Leila de Lima para mabigyan ng bail upang makalaya sa kanyang temporaryang selda dahil, and I'll remind you again and again, never siya naging convicted, never siyang nakasuhan, never siyang napatunayang guilty sa mga kasong inihain sa kanya ng administrasyong Duterte. Never siya naging convicted ng kahit anong kaso with regards to drugs, kahit na ilang taon siyang nakulong. She's what we would call as a person of, or at least as person deprived of liberty, or PDL, and she's one of the millions na kinasuhan nang hindi nakikita ang trial sa korte. We can also argue na along with thousands of PDLs, unconstitutional ang ganitong kabagal ng sistema ng hustisya as it directly violates the constitutional rights of the accused of a fair and speedy trial. Tandaan natin na almost 6 years or more than 6 years have passed since she was first, she became a PDL or person deprived of liberty. Nag-unang matagpo ang landas nila Duterte at de Lima sa Davao noong si Leila de Lima ay ang Commission on Human Rights Chairperson ng bansa from 2008 to 2010, appointed by then President at currently deposed Deputy Secretary and Senior Deputy Speaker Pampanga Representative Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Although I think nung hindi siya nag-sign ng document denouncing or upholding the integrity of the Congress or the House of Representatives, tinanggal siya sa posisyon as the Deputy Speaker of the House. Sa kanyang short stint as the Human Rights Commissioner, imbestigahan niya ang mga high-profile cases tulad na lamang ng kaso laban kay retired General Jovito Palparan regarding extrajudicial abductions and killings of government critics back in I don't know when. Pati na rin ang pagprobe sa infamous high-profile case of the Maguindanao Massacre that killed 58 victims who were on their way to file the certificate of candidacy para sa isang kandidato. They sent women and 32 journalists because they said that the rival Ampatuans would be less likely to attack their convoy kasi nga sa Islam talagang, you know, you don't violate women, apparently. At also, nagdala sila ng 32 journalists para meron sila extra layer of security para tigilan ang mga Ampatuan sa pagpipigil sa kanila sa pag-file nila ng Certificate of Candidacy. The Maguindanao Massacre was dubbed by the Committee to Protect Journalists as the single deadliest event for journalists in history. And that includes Israel's bombing of Al Jazeera, or I don't know which building was that, pero binomba nila yung building ng Al Jazeera or no, I forgot what journalist organization yan, pero when they were covering, or when they are and still is covering the war in Israel between Hamas and the IDF of Netanyahu. And of course, the probe of the Davao Death Squad implicating then Mayor of Davao City at former President Rodrigo Duterte in, again, extrajudicial killings of suspects without due process, which is akin to how Duterte, or how the Duterte administration has also been accused of in his 6-year term. Kumbaga, ginawa na lang color, ano yung play by color ba yun? Basta paint by color or something. Yung ginawa nila with the Davao Death Squad, allegedly, noong nasa Davao sila, and scaled it up to the entire Philippines. or the entire Philippine archipelago. Tumakbo at nanalo siyang senador matapos ang kanyang 5 taong pagsiserve as the Justice Secretary of the Philippines, which started the whole case against her. She won a seat in the Senate under Duterte's entire term, kung saan siya'y kinulong back in 2017 for illegal drug charges noong prines niya ang famous, or at least ang infamous drug on war at numerous extrajudicial killings sa time ni Duterte, less than a year in his presidency bago siya alisin sa komite as a chair of the Senate Justice and Human Rights. So we can definitely see a pattern of a vengeful, or let's say vengeful person of power using their influence to bend the law through the will most convenient. May incident pa nga sa Camp Crame na ginawa siyang hostage ng isang disgruntled inmate. I think it's a terrorist guy, pero Islao Daslamia or something. I forgot yung terrorist organization nung lalaki yon. Also, kapartido ni Duterte si Leila de Lima kasi nga dilawan din si Duterte up until 2016 nang nagkaroon siya ng switch up sa kanyang populist rhetoric. The presidential elections of 2016, where he lashed out against the establishment, quote-unquote, and the Liberal Party as a populist politician taking the status quo and corrupt politicians down. Kumbaga, he's kind of like the Trump of the Philippines, except meron siyang credibility and experience in administration and, again, in terms of holding office. Maalala rin nating pinayagan ng Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court ang pagpiyansan ang dating senador at Commission on Human Rights Chair na si Leila de Lima matapos ang 6 na taong pagkakakulong with trumped-up charges and vengeance from the previous administration. Ang bill per person na nilagay nila ay around 300,000, but yun na nga, matapos ang 6 years, 8 months, and 21 days or 2,424 days, nakalaya siya on bail at umuwi sa kanyang probinsya.
Sa wakas, makakalaya na po ako. For years, my whole being has been crying out for justice and freedom. For more than 6 long years, I've been praying so hard for this day to come.
Kanyang hinarap ang ikatlo at huling kasong isinampa sa kanya ng Administrasyong Duterte under Duterte's administration patungkol sa kanyang umano'y koneksyon sa illegal na droga sa Bilibid. Na-dismiss na ang kanyang mga kaso even while naghahari pa ang former President Rodrigo Duterte dahil sa obvious lack of evidences at alleged collusion of government agencies. Kaya talagang sinasabi niya that she will go after those that have wronged her. Maalala natin last time, yung gumawa ng affidavit regarding her alleged connection to the drug kingpin sa Bilibid was recanted. Kumbaga, binawi. And the whistleblower admitted na pinressure siya para i-implicate si de Lima sa kaso or at least sa sinasabing faux trumped-up charges na ikinaharap ni de Lima. Meron pang tili walang hangga ng revolving door ng mga judges na nagpe-preside sa kaso ni de Lima for his 3 drug charges. Ang humawak sa ikatlo at huling kaso ni de Lima ay kapatid nung gumawa nung recanted at falsified affidavit na nag-i-implicate ng connection ni de Lima sa droga. So, as we can see, malalang conflict of interest ang nangyari, which was resolved by putting the judge who dismissed de Lima of his 2 previous charges sa huling kaso laban sa kanya, while the judge was supposed to preside over her case was recused. Kasi nga, again, kapatid siya nung gumawa nung falsified affidavit. Of course, the question is, bakit noon lang siya, or at least nung na-discover yung connection niya na blood relationship sa gumawa ng sinabing peke at pinwersa na affidavit ng isa sa mga star witnesses na nagsasabing may kinalaman si Leila de Lima sa transaksyon ng illegal na droga sa Bilibid. That's dodgy if I do not say so myself. Now, umangal naman ang prosecution dahil baka raw may bias tong judge na to kasi nga naabsuelto niya sa 2 kaso si Leila de Lima. Umangal naman ang prosecution dahil baka raw bias or at least biased ang judge na inabsuelto si de Lima ng 2 beses. At least magka-bias man siya or at least and may agam-agam na namimix niya yung innocence ni de Lima sa first and second drug charges sa huli on the trumped-up illegal drug charges. Kaya nirecuse niya na rin yung sarili niya para walang bahid ng collusion sa mga deep state liberal chauvinists. Kaya nirecuse niya rin ang sarili niya kahit na yung mga agam-agam ng prosecution ay unfounded in my humble opinion. Kasi nga again, if she's innocent in the first and second trumped-up charges na under Duterte, what is it to say na hindi rin siya guilty sa the third charge. Of course, meron dapat tayong separation ng mga drug charges kasi again, it's different cases altogether. Pero that's still a wild thing to ask the prosecution at yung judiciary na magpe-preside over her case. Ipinagdiwang ang pagpayag ng Korte sa Muntinlupa na magbayad ng piyansa upang pansamantalang makalaya ang dating mambabatas dahil isa si De Lima sa mga staunch opposition ng bansa laban sa administrasyong Duterte even before the issue of alleged extrajudicial killings and assassinations under the Duterte presidency and even before naging kapartido ni De Lima ang mga dilawan. Ipinagdiwang ang pagpayag ng Korte sa Muntinlupa na magbayad ng piyansa upang pansamantalang makalaya ang dating mambabatas dahil isa si De Lima sa mga staunch opposition of human rights violation in general and of course ng bansa laban sa administrasyong Duterte even before the issue of alleged extrajudicial killings noong administrasyong Duterte and assassinations under Duterte and even before naging kapartido ni De Lima ang mga dilawan and consequentially Duterte. Ang pagkapanalo ni Leila de Lima sa kanyang mga trumped-up charges is a good sign of political opponents at ang kanilang imprisonment as the administration lashed out against their opposition to be, at the very least, weakening. Because BBM has less personal beef with the establishment than Duterte's regime kasi nga doon niya binild yung kanyang audience, doon niya binild yung kanyang plataforma as anti-establishment at draining of the swamp katulad ng ginawa ni Trump noong 2016 elections against Hillary Clinton na of course asawa ni dating presidente Bill Clinton back in 1992 to 2000. But I won't deny na I was really surprised and relieved that there hasn't been any attempts at her life by independent actors or disgruntled supporters of ideologies or leaders katulad na lang ni, again, Duterte. Kanya namang hinahamon si Duterte na ngayong nakalaya na si Leila de Lima, kanya namang hinahamon si Duterte na humarap sa Taong Bayan at International Criminal Court patungkol sa mga alleged human rights violations sa kanyang administrasyon. She has also said na tutulungan niya yung ICC para ma-prosecute at madala sa kulungan si Duterte. Ang video clip na ito ay galing sa aking series na News Worthy Recap. Check the entire video for the complete weekly news recap and subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date sa mga local at global news na I'll make sure would be interesting to you particularly. Di ko alam yung name mo pero you should subscribe. You Muhammad Smith? I don't fucking know. John Smith? Salamat sa manonood mga kabayan. For me, like, subscribe, follow my links in socials and avoid. Choose that would be linked down below. Sa susunod muli, of course, paalam.